This town is absolutely electric. Rave reviews because of Warhorse. It has finally arrived. It has won 5 Tonys, including Best Play. And a lot of the magic of theater is really very visible in this one. You hear that cliche, the magic of theater. Truly magical play because of, well, the horse. With me now is John Riddleberger. And John, you are the head puppeteer, which to me, it's like saying somebody at Pixar Animation doodles. You know, to be a puppeteer in this play is humongous. We'll talk about that. But before we do, welcome.
Thank you.
And if you would, John, you're an ambassador for the show Warhorse. Could you tell our audience exactly a little bit of, maybe a little bit of a synopsis of what it's all about?
Yeah, the show takes place in during World War I in both England and France, and it's the story of a boy who early in his life ends up having a pet horse, and him and the horse, they grow incredibly fond of each other. They have a very close bond, and when World War I starts up, Joey, who's his horse, is sold to fight in the war in France. And so the story follows as Albert the boy kind of follows his horse into battle to try and bring him home.
So if you've ever loved an animal, that you'll relate to the loyalty and the courage and the bond that these two have. If you've ever experienced perhaps a family member who's been through a war, that kind of drama exists as well. And also, I think, from what I understand, they said, I had a gentleman come on my show, was talking about Warhorse, and they said, really, the message, though, is peace. Would you say that's the case?
It's a story about friendship and about kind of overcoming odds for those you love. And so, you know, despite the backdrop, despite the drama, it's a story about hope, and it's a story about what can come out of, you know, something as terrible as a war.
Sure. Well, let's talk about your job, because I think this is really where it's cutting edge and the magic of theater really comes into play. The Handspring Puppet Company, we mentioned 5 Tony Awards. One of those was a special award, a special Tony Award that was created for the Handspring Puppet Company because of this play. Tell me about the intricacies. Did I say that? Okay. How complex it is. Yeah. These puppets, they're not. This isn't sock puppets. This is unbelievable.
No, they're full size, actually bigger than life size horse puppets. They're made of cane and aluminum, and there are 3 of us puppeting the horse. So we have a head puppeteer, a heart puppeteer, and a hind puppeteer. So I specifically puppet the head of the horse, and it's a mixture of puppetry and acting and dance and vocal work. I mean, for me, it's an incredibly satisfying job, because I feel like I've used all of my training. Everything I've ever done up to now is a part of what I do in the horse.
Because it's not just about the movement of the horse being realistic, it's about the emotions of a horse. As you know, body language is so important with humans. It is with animals as well. You can tell
it's
what
all
they're
we
thinking.
have.
And that's,
I mean,
exactly.
You know.
How hard was it? How much training was involved? As you can see, as you look at this B-roll that we have going on the screen now, look at how lifelike this horse moves. How much training was involved for you, John?
Well, we had 2 weeks of what we call horse boot camp, where it was just it was just the horse puppeteers, and we had the horses with us, and we did all sorts of puppet exercises. We went and interacted with horses at stables. We learned about our puppets and about our teammates, and so we had that kind of intensive time for us to just focus on the horse. And then the full cast came in, and we started to work on the horse within the story. And so we had a script, and we had a story to tell. And so it was a process of figuring out, how do I express this story through my character, and my character's the horse. And even now, we still, I went to Churchill Downs yesterday, and even there I was watching the horses and, picking up new behavior, new nuances, and new things that we can put in the show to help fill it out.
We love our horses here in Kentucky, as you well know. Now, you have a little bit of history in Kentucky. From what I understand, you were at Actors Theater for a little bit?
Yeah, I spent 9 months here doing their apprenticeship, so that was about 5 years ago, I think.
Wow, so it's a nice triumphant return.
It is.
What an honor to be involved in Warhorse, especially from your side of it. As you said, every bit of your training, movement, emotion, acting, the mechanical side of moving the horse, wow.
Yeah, it's a dream job I didn't know existed until I had it. So I feel lucky, and it's an incredible show to get to bring around the country, and to get to bring somewhere like Louisville, which is horse country, or to bring it, to the West Coast where there are a lot of veterans, or this sort of stuff. It appeals to people on all sorts of levels, and so to get to to bring that to so many audiences it's a great experience.
You know, if you read the book, then you would say there's no way they're going to be able to adapt this to stage. And that is the magic of theater, and that is what this gentleman does. John, I commend you. I admire you for what you're doing, and I'm curious of the kind of reviews that you're getting. You know, my friends who've been to Warhorse, they're going, you got to see it, you got to see it. They go, I know you've seen this and you've seen this. But what kind of reviews, what do you hear from your friends when they come and watch?
People love it. I mean, the audiences are surprised, because I think Warhorse, this show engages the audience's imagination in a really special way. And I think audience members are consistently surprised that they're able to care for a puppet as much as they end up caring for Joey. And so all the reviews are essentially that. And I think a lot of people going into the show, they don't know what to expect. They're like, well, I know there are puppets, I know it's about this, but like, I don't know what to expect. And then they get there and they see it and they realize, oh, I get why this is special.
It defines the magic of theater, doesn't it?
Right. It's something you have to experience, though, I think.
You really do. All right, Warhorse, at Kentucky Center for the Arts. I encourage you, 584-7777. There's the information up on the screen, the shows that are remaining. There are tickets available, but you better get in quick. 584-7777. John, welcome back to Louisville. Any restaurants you're going to visit while you're in town?
I never went to Jack Fry's.
Oh, you got to go.
That. Yeah.
You did the Churchill Downs thing.
I did Churchill Downs.
I think you can write that off as work. A couple of those bets.
Yeah,
maybe you can
so.
say
I was studying.
Yeah,
I was studying.
Research. Yeah, all right. Okay, coming up, we're going to talk about nutrition from senior communities, and we're also going to talk about a beautiful smile. Get out and see Warhorse. We'll be right back on Wave 3 Listens.